A very good evening on this 29th day of April 2025. Thank you so much for choosing to watch the Uganda Catholic Television. My name is Sunday Gloria Abwatch with the Tuesday edition of Uctv News as Uganda prepares to join the global community to commemorate the International Candlelight Memorial Day next month. The Uganda AIDS Commission has decried the prevalent discrimination and stigma faced by individuals living with HIV/AIDS in the communities, something claimed to be downplaying the Commission's progress in fighting and eliminating AIDS in the country. While addressing the media about the forthcoming Candlelight Memorial Day commemoration events in Kampala today, the Uganda AIDS Commission Board Chairperson Dr. Ruth Senyonyi implored members of the public to desist from stigmatizing HIV-positive members of the community because it scares them away from seeking antiretroviral drugs, something that escalates the rate of new transmissions in the country.
My name is Father Paul Bigirwa Atwoki. I come from Hoima Catholic Diocese. I'm the Diocesan Pastoral Coordinator and Parish Priest of St. Cyprian, Town Parish, Hoima. I was ordained on the 1st of July, the year 2000, and this year we celebrate 25 years, for which we thank the Lord. 25 years, I think I've been lucky. The Lord has been with me. I became a parish priest in my second year of ordination, and my fourth year of ordination I was sent abroad for studies, and when I came back after 4 years, I was appointed the Episcopal Vicar of Masindi Vicariate, and after 6 years, I was appointed the Pastoral Coordinator. So one of the rewarding aspects of my priesthood has been serving. I've been in service, I've been in leadership, although it has also some challenges, but this has been rewarding. And through my services, I've interacted with so many people, people of faith, people of love all over the world, which is so rewarding, for which I also thank the Lord. I always looked at the figure of Moses. Moses, when he was leading the Israelites, it is a joy to be in leadership, but it's not all that easy. Like Moses, he encountered so many challenges. People would revolt against him. Lack of water, lack of food. Even when he gave them food, they again complained. So Moses has been my pillar in my leadership and has shaped my faith, because it's not easy. With the Lord on your side, with the challenges you meet, my faith has been strengthened to trust more in the Lord, not in my own efforts or energy.
Father, what challenges have you faced in your vocation, and how have they shaped your journey?
Thank you very much. I think I've had quite many challenges, but I'll pick out two. In 2016, I was in the UK. I got a blood clot, and I fainted, and I was alone in the house. But fortunately, I was picked up, taken to hospital, and I was in intensive care for 4 days. So I literally was picked down up because I almost died. In fact, I kind of left this world, and for 4 days in intensive care, I didn't know what was going on. So when I came back to life, I thought the Lord was so good. And this gave me determination and a new zeal to serve the Lord. So this challenge has shaped my faith and my resolve, my zeal to serve. The second challenge, as in leadership, especially when I see my brother priests struggling, things have changed. The resources are not enough. You'd wish to do more, but you can't do much. So this has also been challenging. I don't know how best we can do it, but this financial financial well-being, the economic situation among the clergy, among the people we lead. Kids can't go to school, people are sick, sometimes there are no medicines in hospitals. This has been challenging, and I don't have a solution, but has shaped so much my determination to do something to make a difference in life. We are still lucky here in Africa, or maybe Uganda, that we still have many seminarians coming up, but in Europe the vocations have gone so down. But even then, for the vocations here, I appeal to young people to come and serve the Lord. It's so rewarding to serve the Lord. Yes, there could be challenges, but so good to be a priest, to serve the Lord, and not only a priest but also the religious, but even the family life. I appeal to young people, because many times you talk to young people, they don't want to get committed, they don't want to get wedded, they think it is very difficult. So the sacramental life generally is going down in the church. So I appeal to everybody, if you are in the married life, please make that commitment, because we cannot continue moving on like this. But the Lord is calling us. So young people, for the priesthood, for the religious life, for the brothers, and even the married life, because we are called around the table of the Lord, and the reward will be immense at the end of our life.
Now, the Uganda Catholic Television News, Uctv, has conducted exclusive interviews with a group of priests celebrating 25 years of dedicated service in priesthood. The priests, drawn from various dioceses, gathered for a week-long recollection at St. Augustine Institute in Zambia, reflecting on their spiritual journey, sharing experiences, and renewing their commitment to ministry. UCTV News brings you the story of Father Paul Bijirwa Atwoki, the pastoral coordinator of Hoima Catholic Diocese.
According to the Uganda AIDS Commission report released in October 2023, the country's 2030 vision of eliminating AIDS as a public health threat hangs in balance due to the high prevalence of the virus among adolescents, particularly females, as well as the approximately 4,700 annual infections among newborn babies. According to UNAIDS 2021 report on Uganda, 89% of people living with HIV knew their status. More than 92% of those who knew their status were receiving antiretroviral therapy, and 95% of those on treatment were virally suppressed. These figures suggested that Uganda was on track to achieve the UNAIDS HIV treatment targets of a 95 to 95 to 95 ratio if progress could be sustained. Nonetheless, officials from the Commission insists that this target could have been achieved earlier if it weren't for several contributing factors, mainly the persistent stigma and discrimination faced by individuals living with HIV in the communities.
Stigma and discrimination. This still remains an issue in the national response, and it negatively impacts on HIV testing, it impacts on treatment, and also adherence to treatment.
It is on this basis that Dr. Ruth Senyonyi implored the public to desist from stigmatizing and discriminating HIV-positive members of the community.
So with less than 5 years to 2030, we need to focus on the following areas if we are to achieve the goal of ending AIDS as a public health threat. Stigma and discrimination results in refusal to go for HIV testing. You tell someone, let's have a test, and they say, no. How are they going to see me taking a test of HIV? They will think I've been misbehaving. It also leads to living in denial after the HIV test positive result. And it can also, this discrimination and stigma can lead to non-adherence to treatment. Sometimes you start the treatment and then someone says something and you say, I'll never go back to the clinic again. I am not taking medicine again because of that. So our request is that HIV stigma and discrimination is addressed at individual levels, at family levels, at community levels and country levels in order to create a stigma-free environment for people living with HIV.
Dr. Vincent Bagambe, who represented the Commission's Director General, stated that despite global funding constraints, partly prompted by the U.S. executive order that suspended funding for AIDS programs in Africa, they have made significant progress. Bagambe adds that the government remains committed to providing uninterrupted access to antiretroviral treatment and HIV prevention strategies in pursuit of the country's 2030 vision.
We have agreed with the partners to ensure that services are not disrupted. And so in the period of the 3 months that we've been through this period of uncertainty, all government health facilities and all faith-based health facilities and non-government hospitals have continued to offer HIV services.
Jacqueline Makoko, UNAIDS Country Director in Uganda, urges authorities to prioritize domestically sustainable approaches in the fight against AIDS so that individuals living with HIV are not adversely affected even when global partners reconsider their funding priorities.
At this point in time where there is global funding shifts, I think there are 3 messages that I would like to leave with the media today. And one of it is that to truly end AIDS and save lives, the response must be truly domestically owned. And when we say domestically owned, we mean that the bulk of resources for the HIV response must come from domestic resources, because that's the only way we are going to sustain and make progress.
Paula Achaye, the Uganda National Students Association coordinator, appealed to the youth, particularly students, to take an active interest in policymaking and implementation, and to get involved in strategies aimed at combating HIV, noting that they represent the age group most affected by new transmissions.
I would like to invite young people to interest themselves in the fight against the spread of HIV and AIDS. Please be involved in your communities, in your institutions, in your societies. Get involved in advocating for policy change. Young people should get involved in the processes of taking decisions that affect them. At every point, interest yourselves as a generation.
The government should engage people living with HIV in decision-making policies, because you can't decide for someone without listening from them. So the government should look into it. To the civil society organization, amplified advocacy. The civil society organization should amplify people living with HIV voices and their concerns.
Uganda bears one of the highest burdens of young people living with HIV in sub-Saharan Africa, with younger women accounting for nearly half of all new infections among females under the age of 2024. Although 2016 assessment indicated a decline in HIV prevalence among adults aged 15 to 49, the country continues to face significant challenges in eliminating mother-to-child transmission. Joseph Kabale, UCTV News.
Away from that, let's take a look at what makes history today. And that's it for the Tuesday edition of UCTV News. My name is Sunday Gloria Aboch. On the Uganda Catholic Television, good news forward.